The Ukrainian flag has become a frequent sighting in the streets of New York since Ukrainian Americans took to the streets in support of protesters in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, when in December of last year, now ousted Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych broke trade agreement negotiations with the European Union under pressure from the Russian government. In Kiev, protests in Independence Square, or Maidan in Ukrainian, claimed at least 100 lives following clashes with Ukrainian security forces. As the crisis in Ukraine shows no sign of abating, New Yorkers organized Auto Maidan. This Sunday, over 30 cars gathered in front of the Ukrainian consulate on the Upper East Side. They then drove around Manhattan for over 4 hours, sounding their horns near the Russian consulate, the United Nations, and in Times Square, in protest of Russian President Vladimir Putin's actions in Ukrainian region of Crimea.
We're one whole block, city block long. That's the end of the convoy. I'm the first, he's the last. My parents immigrated after World War II in 1950, and I was born in the U.S. My parents were from Western Ukraine, from Lviv. They studied in Warsaw. They went through the Nazis, they went through the Red Army coming through, and then back and forth, killings, executions, the Gestapo executing, the NKVD executing. All those people died. They were killed. They were massacred by either Stalin's police or Hitler's police. Although Putin isn't a member of the Communist Party, his mentality is still Soviet mentality.
Putin sent troops to Crimea, claiming the need to protect its Russian-speaking population, an act many perceive as an invasion, a challenge to the territorial integrity of Ukraine.
Putin out of Ukraine!
Crimea has been part of Ukraine since 1954. The protesting crowd, led by descendants of immigrants from Western Ukraine, was joined by recent immigrants from Ukraine, Belarus, and Georgia.
We are from Georgia, Tbilisi, and all our nation is next to Ukraine now. We are Ukrainians today.
He said, we got to do something. And he basically, all of a sudden, people just spontaneously, it happened.
Yep.
We plan to protest until he's out of Crimea. The Russian people have seen what happened in Maidan in Ukraine, and I hope they're planning a Maidan in Red Square.
We just want to show to American people, in America, Ukrainian community together. Everybody is together. That's it. That's all what we want to do, and we're gonna do this up to the end.
We had Georgians, we had Russians, we had everyone supporting freedom. My deepest fear is that it will be all-out war.
We're against Russian government, not against Russian people.
Crimea is days away from a referendum, which may determine its status. Ukraine is holding presidential elections in May. If either of these events has a contentious result, New Yorkers are likely to see more Ukrainian flags, and possibly hear more honking.